Coming to you live from the Callahan basement. We're out of order when it comes to these episodes, so I'm going to stop doing the episode numbers because we record a lot. Some don't get released, some do. But I'm here with my buddy Griggett. How was your week, bud?
Buddy. How we doing? Weekend was good. How about you?
Week's been good so far. I got my hair cut today in preparation for a wedding I'm going to next weekend. So gonna have some fun there. It's gonna be Alexa Trapedi and Chandler Harnish wedding guests we had on.
Maybe some celebs there, right?
I purposely got my hair cut a week in advance because have you noticed that when you leave the barber / haircut place the day of, you think your hair looks great. The next day though, don't you think your hair looks a little funky or off?
No, but the second you leave the barber, the hair never looks better. The next day, every day from that point, it's slightly worse each day.
No, you're wrong. I totally disagree. There is about a week grace period where it doesn't look how you thought it would look. Like when you leave the barber, it looks better than it's ever looked in your opinion. You're like, wow, I'm a 10 out of 10. I mean, the smoke's going to be all over me. And then the next day, it doesn't look as good. But then like a week or two later, you get to that fun length where your hair can kind of do what it wants and you're kind of creative with it, and it looks phenomenal then. But there's like a little grace period where it looks a little bit awkward. It's in an awkward stage. But then once it progresses to where you actually want it, then I think it's the best it looks.
Well, I do agree. Like one weekend, the top of your hair looks good, but for me, because I go tight fade with the lined up beard, the sides don't look as good. They look a little they don't. All the little hairs, they're not the same length. It just looks a little not right. We'll put it that way.
I also have a problem when my hair gets a little bit long, so I obviously put my hair up a little bit more. I style it up. When I do that, my sides, they like to puff out when my hair's too long.
Yes.
So then I have not an afro, but like I feel like Wolverine. I feel like Wolverine because I'll put my hands back through this and my hair just naturally expands, and all of a sudden I look like some like
scary. Yes.
Like I look like an 80s flap top guy, and I'm in 2018. Like grow up.
This guy's a psycho. Right.
Yeah. Wow. I get bad looks, but we're super excited. We're Bulls fans. We had an awesome signing today.
Let's go, baby. Come on, get pumped up.
Became official today. It's Saturday, July 14th. This is when we're recording, and it's official. Jabari Parker's coming home. Signed him to a 2-year, $40 million deal.
Welcome home, brother.
Team option at the end of the first year, which I think is a genius move.
Spectacular.
We're super critical of Garpax, but I will say this offseason has gone much better than anticipated.
Started off so slow. We were the team who was doing nothing. All these other teams were making moves. Everybody's making moves. Everybody's jumping in at the party. We're just sitting out like we're waiting for our driver. We're late to the party, but hey, we've arrived, and we're boozing now.
Well, and I'm super happy because Wendell Carter, I just looked in, they played the Pistons today in the Summer League playoffs. He's averaging 17 and 8 right now. So he's having a really good Summer League. We also added Jabari. So our projected starting lineup is coming in with the average age of like right around 21, 22 years old. So I'm super excited. Where do you see the Bulls in like the playoff mix / the future?
We both did a our Eastern Conference projections. I mean, our starting lineup's spectacular. I mean, it's a very good starting lineup, but people need to pipe it down with the Jabari. Everyone thinks like, God, we're definitely a playoff team now. We're this, we're that. We don't really know what we're getting. We are getting a guy who has two torn ACL injuries in the past on his left knee. He's young. I think he's, 23 years old?
He's 23.
He's 23. He has averaged 19 points per game at a certain time in his career.
No.
For a certain stretch before an ACL injury, he was averaging 19 points per game.
I don't know about that.
That's a fact. And he was playing all-star caliber basketball. And then, obviously, the ACL injury happened, and then he was a 13-point per game guy, and that's kind of I see him around. I think he needs to average 15 points per game for us to bring him back in the second year. You said he needs to be our leading scorer. I think that's outrageous. I mean, we have Levine and Markkanen. He doesn't necessarily need to be our top guy, but yeah, he needs to be a top 3 guy for us. We're paying him $20 million a year.
Well, two things. Just before we dive in, we're going to make this sort of a predictions podcast. We're going to do that for basically the East and West, just because obviously dead of July, there's not a whole lot to talk about in sports. So we're gonna map out what we think is going to happen. But back to the Jabari thing. The reason I think that he should be our leading scorer, it's not from he's the most talented. It's not from he has the most upside. He's by far the most polished scorer on our team at this point. He can score inside and out. Lauri right now can, but he can't do it consistently. You can't say he can because rookies / 2-year players consistently cannot do that. LaVine, we've seen flashes of it as well from LaVine. He can shoot the three. Obviously, he can jump out of the gym.
He's a freak athlete, right?
But I'd say we talk about actual 15-foot range, ISOs, be able to shoot the three. Athleticism, he can score second chances. Jabari is the most polished scorer, and that's why I would say
we're going to need to see it from Jabari and LaVine on the defensive end this year, though. I mean, that's we know what we got with Wendell on the defensive end, and we know what we got on Chris Dunn out of the defensive end.
Lauri as well. I thought
Lauri is a pretty good defender. LaVine and Parker are liabilities. I mean, these guys will be assassinated on the defensive end. They need to wake up.
And it's not. I wouldn't. It's not an ability thing. It's
a mindset. It's all defense is. It's a mindset. Do I want to shut this guy down? Okay, I'm going to shut this guy down. Done. I will stop this guy from scoring the basketball. Don't reach. Stay on the floor. Contest shots. That's all defense is.
Or and just being physical away from the ball. I don't know. Depending on the player, you could be a little bit loud in the guy's ears.
Oh yeah, trash. Talk a little bit, get in his ear, get in his head. But all right, well let's get to our Eastern Conference projections.
Before we get to the predictions, though, I want to talk about how Vegas recently has now put the Raptors as the odds-on favorite to land Kawhi Leonard. And there's really been no report about because Woj is on the inside of everything. He knows more than ever.
He said it, didn't he? Didn't he say?
He acknowledged the Vegas odds, but I don't think he actually has anyone on the inside that has heard the negotiations going back and forth.
Well, when I saw so basically the proposal via Twitter that they're saying the deal is that Toronto would send DeRozan, Poulter, and OG Anunoby for Kawhi and a first-round pick. That's
a good deal for the Raptors, I think. If I'm the Raptors, though,
I think that's a real slap. I think that's a kick to the dick to DeRozan. Hey, DeRozan, you're also going out with two other primetime players of ours because you just weren't good enough one-on-one. Is he that much worse than Kawhi?
By a lot. He does everything worse. He's a worse dribbler. He's a worse defender. He's a worse three-point shooter. He does everything worse than Kawhi. So when you factor everything in,
not by a lot,
he's
though.
less athletic.
He's not
smaller.
That much worse of an offensive player than Kawhi Leonard.
He's a better probably ISO scorer, but
he's a top 15 player in the NBA.
No, he's not. DeMar DeRozan is not a top 15 player. No.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think he is. There's flashes on that team where he wasn't even the best player. Kyle Lowry was the best player, and you cannot tell me Kyle Lowry was their top 15 player in the NBA. If you're constantly,
he's a top 10 point guard.
That top 10 point guard versus the top 15 player in the league is a lot different. It's a big difference. It's 5 positions on the floor.
I'm going to stick strong to my statement that DeMar DeRozan is a top 15 player.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not sure. I would have to look at all the players, but I'm going to say right now he's the top 15 player in the NBA.
He's definitely not.
Whatever. What's he going to do about it? Nothing.
I'm just going to be correct as usual. So if I was the Raptors, I would honestly just send 3 future first-round picks and then maybe Anunoby and be like, hey, Spurs, what do you think? Because I think if you threw in a lineup of Lowry, DeRozan, then you had in Leonard at the 3, Ibaka at the 4, and then Valanciunas at the 5.
That team's maybe coming out. That team's coming out of the East.
They would.
I don't know.
It would be
a
tough series.
The Celtics are loaded.
So let's get in the predictions.
So are the 76ers. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
So you can go first. Who's your top 8?
Okay, so in the East, I got the number 1 seed being, and we'll throw these up. These will be up on the screen, side by side, me and Jax. But
shout out Sego.
Boston as being the 1 seed. I just think Boston's just deeper than Philly. Who did you have as the 1 seed?
I took Philly. I love star power.
Okay. 2, I had Philly. So it's a coin flip, essentially.
It's going to be them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So,
as a 3 seed, I have Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee took that jump. I think they really are going for it this year.
I agreed with you there.
Milwaukee is the 3 seed. I think Indiana is the 4 seed. Obviously, this all changes if Kawhi goes to the Raptors. Things are different. But as of right now, if Toronto's coming back with their same lineup and Indiana's coming back with theirs, Indiana added this point guard out of a Holiday kid out of UCLA. He looks like he's good. He has two brothers in the NBA right now. He has Justin Holiday and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's a really good NBA player.
Justin and Drew are related?
Yes.
For sure.
There's three brothers. They're better than the Ball brothers.
Well, no shit, yeah. And they should do a deal with Holiday Inn.
Ooh.
We should be their agents.
Well,
that's so simple.
Hey, I mean, you know where we're at. We're right here. I mean, here we are.
He already is an agent.
Here we are.
So
well, ooh.
Another plug.
Free advertisement. We'll take it.
Round out the top bottom four, 5 through
So
8.
Indiana's at the 4 seed. Toronto's the 5 seed. And in at the 6 seed, the Chicago Bulls. Yes, I'm going to get the Bulls at the 6 seed. I'm going to give the Detroit Pistons with Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin as the 7 seed. I mean, I like their team, man.
Reggie Jackson as well.
Reggie Jackson, who's Stanley Johnson, buddy from Duke, the white kid.
Luke
Kennard.
Yep.
They're a good team. 8 seed, I have Washington. I just don't really like Washington anymore. Dwight Howard, I thought, was a shit pickup. He's a shit player, he's a shit pickup, and he's a shit personality.
Time out. Go on your phone right now. I'm almost positive that Dwight Howard is not on the Wizards.
Oh, that is 100% a fact. Yes, he is.
He's on the Wizards?
Yes, he signed a kind of a massive contract. He's
All
a 2-year deal, but
Sego, can you look up Dwight Howard?
I do like their first-round pick, Troy Brown, out of Oregon. I do like that kid. He's young. He's skilled.
You love Oregon players. You love Jordan Bell. You love Dylan Brooks, and now you love Troy Brown.
Yeah, Oregon puts out good pros.
Okay.
They put out big physical guys in the league. I like them.
All right, I'm gonna get in my top 8 then.
Go ahead.
So we agreed the top 2. I had Philly at 1. Or time out 1 second. We're getting to the Dwight Howard update.
He's with the Wizards, 2-year, $11 million.
2-year, $11 million. That's man.
I think it's $11 million per year. It's a $22 million contract. No, just
2 years, $11 million.
Yeah, so he's making about the same as Boogie. That's demoralizing.
I hate you, Boogie.
Boogie, from us to you.
Right.
I mean,
No. Seriously, Boogie. From us to you. Why don't you go fuck yourself? I don't know.
Seriously, take a long walk off a short pier, bud. So I had Philly at number 1. I had Boston 2. I just love. I don't know. I'm a big. Embiid to me is so intriguing. I love his game.
Love him. I love how he's great for the NBA.
Agreed with you at 3. I had Milwaukee, and then at 4, before Kawhi Leonard even joins in, I had 4 the Raptors. Had won 59 games last year. That's an accomplishment. I still think they're a regular season team that likes to show out.
I think them and the Pacers are flipped. I mean, either way.
Yep, because I had the Pacers at 5, and then at 6, I had the Wizards. I had the Wizards at 6 before I even knew about Dwight Howard. Now I like him a little bit more. I think he's better than Gortat. Now we can get into locker room stuff and how every locker room hates him, and that's a fair point because that's an issue to have.
Yeah.
But whatever, I still like them regardless. I love the trio they have in Wall, Beal, and Otto Porter. I think they're a lot of fun. I like the other Morris twin. I think he's a good addition. So then at my 7 seed, though, I have the Pistons. And then at the 8 seed, I have the Heat. The Heat, I think, are
So you have the Bulls missing the playoffs?
Again, yeah, man. Bulls missed the playoffs.
I think the Bulls could easily miss the playoffs as well, people. I mean, yeah, the teams. Let's talk about the teams we have basically missing the playoffs. The Knicks are going to be tough. The Knicks are going to be tough because that Kevin Knox kid has got game.
Yep, Kevin Knox has been lighting it up in the summer league.
Orlando is so long.
No, I don't even mention Orlando.
Why?
They're a joke of a franchise. Who do they have on their team besides?
They
have Gordon. They have Aaron Gordon, and they have
Evan Fournier is a tremendous pro.
No, in what world?
In every world.
A tremendous pro. You said that it's such a loose term. A tremendous pro. No,
he's a very good NBA player.
No, he's like the guy at work that you can rely on to show up every day and do his job. But that doesn't mean he's a tremendous worker.
Could you give me Evan Fournier's stats, Sego? They have him, Jonathan Isaac. They have who? They have the.
That's my problem right there. You have
Vucevic.
Again, you're nailing it. They have 4 bigs competing for 2 spots. They have no other guys on their team.
Well, Aaron Gordon is one hell of a player.
He's a 4, and so
no, he's a 3.
No.
Yes, he is. In every single world, Aaron Gordon is a 3.
He's 6'10".
No, he's not.
He can't shoot.
He's not 6'10". He's not 6'10".
My God. Have you ever seen Aaron Gordon shoot a 3 in your entire life?
No, but he averaged a lot of points last year. He's a small forward in the league. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He is.
No, he's not.
I didn't think he was either until I actually read an article saying that he class.
points a game.
Oh yeah, Evan Fournier, he sucks, averaging 18 points per game. Take back what you said now. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not going to take back what I
I
said.
didn't finish. 46% from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah, and I'll stick by it. It's a fake good stat line, people. When you are the best or only capable scorer on a team that wins 17 games, that doesn't mean you're some superstar. If he went to a playoff team in the West, he would not start on any playoff team.
Right on the money. Right on the money I was again. 18,
Oh my God, I hate you.
18 points per game, people. You can't make that up. I mean, those points just didn't make themselves. No, Evan made them. At 18 points per game. Good for you, Evan Fournier. You're my guy. And by the way, that's someone that I don't think any of our listeners know. I don't think anybody knows who Evan Fournier is. No, Greg does. At 18 points per game, this guy's clipping off. This guy's an exceptional shooter. I like Evan. I'm a big Evan Fournier guy.
He would not have started on any playoff team last year, so I'm not going to call him a tremendous player. Name a playoff roster he would have started on.
Evan Fournier is better than J.J. Redick at this point in their careers.
Oh, my God. Here we go again. J.J. Redick?
Yeah. So, JJ, I'm a huge fan of you, but you're never clipping off 18 points per game.
That wouldn't be his job. Evan Fournier wouldn't average 18 points anywhere.
Oh, you just tell Evan Fournier, hey, Evan, we're just going to pass you up. You're just going to shoot 4 threes a game. Knock him down. He'll knock him down.
All right, so
JJ did average 17.5.
yeah, so
That ain't 80. That it's not 18.
on a
And he was
playoff
also
team-
with Chris Paul.
no. Last season he averaged 17
Did he? The last season he averaged 17 points per
on
game.
a playoff team. I'm talking about Evan Fournier would not do that on a playoff team. And
We
you
don't
just-
know that.
And you just contradicted yourself. You go, well, it'd be really easy to tell Evan Fournier to sit in the corner, shoot 4 threes. How can you score 18 points per game if you shoot only 4 threes per game?
Well, he's shooting the end of the game free throws a lot. JJ Redick is on that 76ers team.
So you're telling me the reason he averaged 17 a game is not because he's a good scorer, but rather because he's
I'm just saying, at this point in their careers, I'm clearly taking the bigger two guard who's averaging a half a point more. He's averaging half a point more. He's bigger than JJ Redick. He's faster. He's probably more athletic. He's in all facets of the game. He's better than JJ Redick, and he's probably a less defensive liability.
we dedicate so much stupid time to Evan Fournier.
Yeah, we did.
Fournier only played 50 games compared to JJ's 70. That says something.
So Sego told us Fournier played 50 games last season. Redick played 70. Redick played on a playoff team. But yeah, we're running out of time. So I mean, Evan Fournier, you just got 3 minutes. I don't think you've gotten 3 minutes in your entire life on SportsCenter,
I will not let him insult you, Evan.
on Fox Sports,
I will not let him say this about you, Evan.
on CBS Sports.
Ignore this shit.
You've gotten none of that time. You're welcome that we gave it to you, and it's kind of shows our depth. So we know we're talking about people. But I don't know. I'm trying to, now that I'm thinking about this, is it super interesting listening to predictions the whole time?
Yeah, there'll be you know, going off this. You know, a lot of people tell us how to run this podcast.
It's getting annoying.
Well, it's just we get a lot of advice from people who don't do this. Here's the thing: we'll listen to what you have to say. You know, I had an event this week I had to go to. A lot of people, you know. Oh, you know, we listen to it, you know, this, that, and the other, and then they want to give me advice, you know, oh, maybe cut down on the swearing, do this, do that. How about we do what the fuck we want to do? I mean, we got a podcast, you don't. There's a reason for that, because we got the balls to do it. Unless you got the balls to do it, unless you got your balls to have your own podcast, and you're getting more views than us, I really don't want to hear your advice, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't mind getting advice about total sound, like, hey, you know, maybe talk farther away from the mic, or maybe I don't even mind getting told that I swear too much, because if it's actually bothering the way they listen, that's something I'll take in. When you tell us what topics are good, and like when you tell us what's gonna make this grow, you have nothing to base that off of.
Nothing. You have nothing. It's
We
your
have-
personal opinion.
We have no idea how this is gonna grow. I mean, at some point it's going to. But we have no idea the route. I mean, the route is there's a lot of winds, there's a lot of turns. It's going to be Siri's going to be rerouting us the whole time. So there's no way that you could ever know. There's no way you could know this.
And if someone had a clear path to stardom, like then it wouldn't everyone do it? Everyone would be famous.
It's
These people like talk to us like they know how to get us famous. Like, no, you don't. You have no clue.
there's not like you do point A, You finish point A. Okay, good. Now you move to. It doesn't exist like that. You don't go from A to B to C. You jump around. You figure out what's good, and hopefully it sticks. Hopefully you find an audience. Hopefully you find consistent listeners. That's what we're shooting for, and that's why we keep putting it out, and that's what we're going for. But to sit back and listen and tell us what is going to make it like take off,
It's a joke.
it'd be like me going up to like an engineer. I'm not going to go out of my. It'd be like me going up to an engineer and being like, "Hey, did you ever think about using this equation to solve it?" Instead of like, "How the fuck would I know?" And I'm not calling myself an engineer by any means. I'm just saying that's what it would be like, because we're at least trying and feeling it out. Trial by error, people. Trial by error. So we had to get that out there, and again, and we don't want to diss the listeners.
No, we love. Yeah. That he said it best.
And we're not insulting. We're just saying, please don't tell us what's going to make it and what's not going to make it big.
Because you don't know.
You have no idea. So that's fair.
Also, shout out to Glennons. They were the first ones to give me the scoop on the Jabari Parker thing. Before I forget, I had to get that out there. There. Shout out Sego, too. Sego Wojnarowski. Congrats, Sego. Feel good about yourself.
Yeah. And these two love to beef. And we have a group. We have a
Been
group
body
chat.
bagging Sego all week.
We have a group chat for the podcast.
Lucky I don't have a mic right.
Sego doesn't have a mic, so I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna bash him here.
But I'm gonna
body bagging Sego.
I'm
all
gonna
week.
stick up for Sego. Sego and Grigget. It's funny because I like to think that I'm the mediator on here, but also in the group chat, these two fight like children. And when I say fight like children, they legit trade like the dumbest insults back and forth. It's really it's funny in like not intentionally funny. Like they're not creative jabs. They're not creative insults. They're very just oh, I body bagged you. Oh, you're
People always told me growing up, Grigget, God, you love drama. Here's the truth on that. Yes, I do love drama, because I'm gonna tell you what. Drama is where you see if people can live, can survive, or they die. So I love drama. Drama will always be in my life. It's good for you. Stress high. Oh, God. You can see how people can handle drama and how they can't. Can you take it or can you not?
I think you're talking about controversy and like
Controversy, drama. It's all kind of the same. One and the same. I love it. It's good for you. If you can't take drama, if you can't take controversy, you just... It's not that you're a bad person, but you're probably not as mentally strong as someone who could take it.
so
Facts. Hot takes.
Sitting next to a mental giant, everyone. It's a little bit intimidating for guys like me because he's a mental giant.
No, I'm just a psycho.
He's a psycho.
Ooh, he took me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I
Let
thought
it
you were
be.
called the lunatic.
the maniac.
The maniac.
All right, but speaking of drama and stuff, did you see what Cardi B named her child?
Culture with a K. Very weird.
Culture Kiari, whatever the fuck Offset's last name is. What is it? Anyone know? I couldn't tell you. He's got a funky
Migos.
name. Culture Kiari Migos is her name. So no, it's Culture Kiari B. That's her
Offset
name.
Migos is his name.
You know what they should call her? They should call her Kiki.
Kiki,
you're
you
a
love
baby. Seriously though, they these names these celebrities are giving their children just so.
You gotta feel for him.
I feel so bad.
Even though Culture with a K, I don't really mind.
I hate it.
You do?
Can't stand it. What's the nickname for Culture? Colty?
The Coltonator.
The
Oh, here it is.
Coltonator.
They make Kohler Culvers.
No.
The last name is Cephus.
Cephus. So Cephus?
Cephus, maybe?
Yeah. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, there really is no. I'm trying to think of nicknames for Culture. They're the Colt. Then I'm thinking
Yeah.
Sure. Just
That's
trying
what
to
I
grab
think.
a piece of.
By the way, I don't think. You know how guys sometimes go by their middle name with like, let's say their dad names them after themselves, but they don't want to like have two Mikes in the house, so they go by their middle name. So like, let's say your name is Mike James Smith, you go by James instead of Mike. I don't think women do that ever, do they?
No.
So if I was the girl though, I would go by Kiari over Culture because I think Kiari, it's a little bit unique and maybe funky, but it sounds so much better than Culture for a little girl.
Girls don't use nicknames as much as guys do. That's
No.
a fact.
Yeah, because you'll never meet like a girl that's like a CJ. I've never
No.
Oh, and girls don't call themselves like they're by their last names, really. You know, like how guys like I'll call
You just don't like hear like, oh, my name's Sarah, but everyone calls me Bubbles. You just like, just like I'm just talking like nobody like ever like a guy like my buddy has the name Philip. We call him Choop. Just
Yeah.
like totally off. Like you just girls.
Yeah.
Maybe like oh,
Yeah.
my name's Alexis, but people call me Lex. That's about like
We actually, this kid, one of my neighbors grew up with him. His name Kyle King. He's gonna be a walk-on at Purdue this year. Check him out. He's gonna be a freshman. His nickname is Miff, Miff, because his full name is Kyle Smith King. But when he was a child, he couldn't pronounce Smith, so he'd always say, "My name is Kyle Miff King." So now I've known him since he was 2 years old. He's 18. He goes by Miff. I think that's an awesome nickname. Those are cool nicknames. It has a story. It works.
I got news for you. Shout out this kid. This kid's gonna walk on at Purdue. Mark my words. You'll see him on the court before senior year, getting minutes. I'm hot take.
Before senior year.
If he works his ass off, I see him getting minutes at Purdue as a walk on. It'll be one of those stories. He'll be on the journey. He'll get a segment on the Big Ten Network.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So shout out Kyle King. We have connections, people. We know. I mean, we know NIU quarterbacks. Now we know a walk on. We have a.
We don't want to brag about the Lewis the Child thing. That is what it is.
That's such a. You're gonna have to edit that out. You're gonna have to.
Why?
Because Sego knows not us.
I'm just saying.
We know a D1 NIU player because
we're not cutting out that we know Lewis the Child. I'm not saying we do yet. We don't know him yet. We will. They'll be members on the show.
Sego's dad knows one of the dads of the Lewis the Child people. So
it is what it is.
You're bragging about something you don't know.
That's what I do.
That was bizarre.
That was bizarre.
Super bizarre.
It wasn't bizarre at all. I didn't find it bizarre.
You know what was bizarre? I thought the bizarre thing. Do you see the viral video of that coach in the JBA that was kind of pushing the player, but the backlash was, "Wow, we're gonna let this slide."
I got news. If a coach ever did that to me, I'm dropping him. I thought he took it way too far.
You're a pussy.
No, I'm not. That coach took it way too far.
You're a pussy.
Oh, he headbutted the player.
Didn't headbutt him.
Yes, he did. You didn't watch the full video. Then he headbutted the kid. If that coach, if you headbutt me, I will fucking snap your neck in half.
That's if you AU basketball is it's hard to describe for people that haven't seen it, but it is it's not regular basketball. You get away with murder. They rarely call fouls, and so the game has a little bit more edge to it. So there's more talking going on. There's more back and forth with the refs and players, and so naturally it's more of a hostile environment. So what that coach did, you might think it's across the line. I know for sure the headbutt never happened, so we don't have to debate that.
That definitely happened.
No.
So I mean, I wouldn't make this up.
Yeah, Sego's going to add it in, and you'll see that it's just it's a couple two-hand shoves to the player's chest.
So, like, the guy shoved him, and then they kind of, like, separated for a second, and then the coach went back in and headbutted him from the side. I mean, if you ever did that to me, I would lose my mind on you. Then we're fighting.
Just because his face touched his face doesn't clarify as a headbutt.
It was a full-blown, like, he literally, I'm not lying. He literally did it. He headbutted him, and first off, if you have to shove me to get me to play harder, you're too into the game. At the same time, I'm a huge competitor, but don't shove me. I mean, I've been around some of the most competitive people in the world. Don't put your hands on me, because I mean, if
you've never had a coach grab you by this, and that's I consider that the same thing. His two-hand shove was not two-hand shove. It was that. You've never been grabbed by like that.
I
by
have,
a coach?
but never shoved.
He didn't do that. He did.
No, I don't think he did. The kid took a couple steps back. I just thought it was too much. I just think you're just doing too much. This is the JBA. I mean, this isn't a high stakes college basketball game. This isn't an NBA game.
I see both sides.
It was Sego's saying he sees both sides.
You could call it a headbutt. You could call it an accident.
So you did see it. It's just like,
it's not,
dude.
He did not wind his head back.
No, but he kind of
he got in his ear. We're looking at it right now, and I know for sure.
Oh my God! It's a clear butt headbutt. Yeah, the people will so agree with Greg on this one too.
The league, and we appreciate the support, showing up game after game after game after game. Big shout out to all of you all watching at home.
Hey, that's my bad, I guess. Get the fucking ball. Stop being a bitch. What you gonna do, huh? What the fuck you gonna do?
In the comments.
Yeah,
leave it out.
That's not a headbutt. A headbutt is like going for. He wanted to get in his grill because he's calling the player soft because he's acting like a bitch. That's totally different. You've never had a coach get in your face and say something.
I've had them get in my face. Don't shove me, though. That's why I'm just saying the guy just went over the top. He was too into the game.
So, yeah, I had an AU coach. We were down in Nationals, down in Florida, and his first game, so obviously everyone has their jitters. I was playing like shit. And I come to the bench, and I know I'm playing bad. And so as I walk past him, like, my coach goes, it'd be nice for you to show up, at some point today. And I took it in stride, and I say back, I look back at him, I go, it's gonna be hard to do that from the bench, just because I got a mouth on me. That's why I have a podcast. And I go to the water cooler, and I go to fill it up, and then he comes up to my ear, and he gets in my ear, and it's like he starts whispering like this, and it's very low and it's very direct. And he goes, if you ever talk to me like that again, I'm not going to only guarantee you're not playing the rest of the season. I'm going to go to your high school coach, and I'm going to make sure that you never get a minute on the varsity level. And I turned back to him. I turned my head back to him, and he grabbed me by the and he goes, shut the fuck up. And I've never, I really... It wasn't that he got physical. It was the way that he was so direct with his threat, and it was so, like, grabbed me by the shirt. It was very strong, and I'm like, motherfucker. That was like, I felt like I was like a puppy that just pissed in the house, and the owner just like starts swatting it. That's what I felt like. I felt like a child being put in timeout. I felt low.
I don't blame you.
It was demoralizing.
But that's a good coach. That's a good coach.
Yeah, no, whatever. It obviously. Thicker skin. Like you said, I can handle controversy, and I can handle the drama. I can take it in stride. So, but again, this is we keep changing our scenery. I like that we're doing that, but obviously we're gonna have to find a consistent area at some point in time. But it doesn't really matter. I kind of like changing it up.
By the way, this maybe wasn't our funniest show, but not every show is going to be funny. There's going to be some where we teach people. We try to teach people our thoughts on the NBA this in the Eastern Conference, and then that was the show. Might not be people's favorite. Don't care. Some people will love the show. Some people won't.
We talked about we're going to be ourselves through and through. We're going to take criticism when it comes to actually like how we sound, what they thought flowed well. I'd even let them say we should be. What topics we could cover. I'd even hear that out because people, but don't tell me what's going to actually make it grow. No one knows. We don't know. We're just doing this for fun right now, and hopefully it materializes into something. Used a big word right there. That was a big word, and I'm pretty proud of it. But again, I'm proud of the podcast. I thought we had I thought it was a solid performance. It's nice. A little bit more comfy chairs. Sit down.
It is a nice, yeah. I do like how we changed the setting or the scene.
I do.
I like that.
I think it's the first time that. Well, I remember last podcast I was on the left. Now you're on the left, so Mr. Liberal. Just kidding. But yeah, I think it's a good point to wrap up. So
we'll talk to you, peeps.
Yep. Signing off.